And there are more calls for Donald Trump to drop his bid for the White House. One of the most influential papers in the critical primary state of Iowa has come out with a scathing op-ed about Trump, arguing that the business mogul isn't qualified to be president.
But Trump isn't backing down. He's on the campaign trail in South Carolina today. We spoke about the controversy earlier with South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham.
Senator, on CBS this morning, you reacted to Donald Trump's controversial comments on John McCain's war record. Let's listen into that.
Stay in the race, just stop being a jackass. You don't have to run for president and be the world's biggest jackass. That's not your choices.
Senator, how does it help by calling him a jackass? Some might say all this name calling, it sounds more like a schoolyard than a presidential election.
Well, I'm running out of adjectives. I mean, there comes a point in time where enough is enough. You know, I've tried to be measured about this, but John McCain's one of my closest friends in the entire world. He served his country in an incredibly difficult circumstance. So it's just not about John. Now it's about all those who have served, all those who have been POWs. And somebody's got to push back. I don't know, if this doesn't make you a jackass, what does? The world is falling apart. We've got problems abroad and at home that need to be addressed. I'm not asking for Donald Trump to drop out of the race. I'm asking him to handle himself better so that we can have a debate about the things that really matter.
Senator, during a phone interview yesterday with Charlie Rose, Donald Trump said that he thinks John McCain actually owes an apology to the people he referred to as crazies. Let's listen to that.
But it all started when I had 15,000 people in Phoenix a week ago, and he said they're a bunch of crazies, and that was very insulting to those people. They were great people, and they were worrying about illegal immigration, which is a huge problem that I brought up 3 weeks ago, and that was a big firestorm, and it turned out I was right. And in all fairness to John McCain, perhaps he should apologize to the 15,000 people that were in Phoenix that he called crazy only because of the fact they want to stop illegal immigration.
Senator, setting aside the back and forth over the name calling, there are people, sir, within your party who feel as though they have legitimate concerns about border security, and they share Mr. Trump's views. What is the place for those people within the Republican Party today?
Well, Mr. Trump's views are not that the border's broken, that the 11 million illegal immigrants are mostly drug dealers and rapists. Everybody's concerned about the border. John McCain and Lindsey Graham have been working for 10 years to fix this problem in a bipartisan fashion, doubling the number of Border Patrol agents by 20,000, more drones, E-Verify, building fences. We get it when it comes to the border. This is not about what John said about the audience. This is not about the border. It's about Donald Trump and his view of people, and now it's about the Republican Party's view of people.
With respect, though, sir, there are supporters of Donald Trump, and even some who maybe have not made up their mind, who do feel as though Republicans have not done enough on the issue of border security.
Well, I will put my record up against anyone. Who hasn't done enough was President Obama. He promised in his first year in office that he would fix comprehensive immigration. He would fix immigration. He had 60 Democratic senators. He did Obamacare, the stimulus, Dodd-Frank. Hillary Clinton was in the Senate. She never lifted a finger. I have worked on 3 separate pieces of legislation since 2006 to secure our border, control who gets a job, and deport felons, but be fair and rational with 11 million. This is not about immigration anymore. This is about whether or not the Republican Party believes that the people coming here illegally are mostly rapists and drug dealers. I don't.
But Senator McCain, why didn't anybody pounce on Donald Trump after he made those comments? We didn't hear from you.
Because they're afraid.
Were you afraid after he made those comments?
They're afraid that they're going to upset some people who share that view.
But why didn't we hear a reaction from that? Everybody reacted to the controversial comments after Senator McCain.
Because there are people frustrated with the border, and they've adopted Donald Trump's position as their cause. But there's a difference between being upset with the border. Your frustration of a broken immigration system is no justification for you to say mostly the 11 million are rapists and drug dealers. And let me tell you why this is important. One, it's not true. They're fleeing oppression. They're fleeing poor and corrupt countries. They're coming here to make a better life for themselves. We have the ability to create order out of chaos. But Dream Act kids were brought here by their parents, very young. They lived in America all their lives. Chances are they've got brothers and sisters who were born here who are American citizens. So when you call the 11 million legal immigrants, mostly drug dealers and rapists, you're calling their older brother, their mom and dad, bad names. We're in a hole with Hispanics. We've gone from 44% to 27% as a party because of stuff like this. These are good folks. We need to get them right with the law. Felons need to be deported tomorrow. What happened in San Francisco is an affront to all of us. I've been trying to fix the problem, but now we got a different problem. It's not about immigration. It's about who we are as a party. And here's the good news. We're rising up en masse to say that Donald Trump is wrong about veterans and he's wrong about illegal immigrants.
But Senator, as you just pointed out, the comments and the tenor of this debate have been particularly harsh. Has the Republican Party already lost the Hispanic vote for 2016?
I think we're back in the hunt because Hispanics and African Americans have suffered the most under President Obama's presidency and his leadership. Their lives haven't improved much at all. And please remember, President Obama promised in the 2008 campaign to deal with this immigration. He had 60-seat majority in the Senate, a big majority in the House. He could have done anything he wanted. He didn't lift a finger. So I think he wants the issue more than he wants the solution. And Hillary Clinton was in the Senate. She never lifted a finger. She never said, hey, wait a minute, we promised to do this. So I think we're back in the game with Hispanics and a lot of other people because President Obama has been a bad president, but we're going to close ourselves out. We're going to dig the hole deeper if we keep following Mr. Trump's lead.
Well, speaking of Mr. Trump again, what is so appealing about him? Because if you look at the polls, he's in the lead.
I think it's appealing that he's a larger-than-life character. I mean, he helped me. I mean, he gave me money. I've always enjoyed talking to him. There's something about him that is appealing. But we've gone down a dark road. It's been fun. A bigger-than-life character. You're fired. A good entertainer. A P.T. Barnum-type figure. But now we've gone down a dark path. A dark path of slandering 11 million illegal immigrants and putting in question those who have served and been captured in the service of their country as losers. They're not losers. I've never been more optimistic about the future of the Republican Party because our Democratic friends have put us back in the game. But we're slowly but surely losing the advantage that we have in 2016. I'm not asking Donald Trump to get out. I'm asking him to allow a conversation about things that matter. President Obama went to the UN before the Congress. That should be a front to all of us. This deal is it's going to ensure Iran gets a nuclear weapon by the mere passage of time, and we're not talking about it at all.
Well, do you think Donald Trump will listen to these pleas?
I doubt it, but all I can say is that this is the beginning of the end for Donald Trump. That when you slandered Senator McCain and all like him, you're not going to be forgiven over this one. This is going to be a slow bleed. And the American people are going to say, what I liked about you has now been replaced by a line you've crossed.
Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina, thank you so much for joining us.